for, let's say if you want to go with the repository pattern, I have defined an interface. I have that interface was implemented in a class. Encapsulation is a combination of methods and members are declared in a particular type, user defined type. Those I can say is an encapsulation. Whatever the implemented class, it is having the variables, it is having the implementations, and we can use that implementations. We want to perform an operation. That's what I can say.
Oh, okay. So, and in C# we are having concept called delegates.
Yes.
So when you go for delegates and
delegates, yeah, we have two different ways you can use the delegate. One is used for point to a function. I don't want to create a class. I don't want to create an object for a class, and if I want to create a class and method, if you want to access the method, we have to create an object. We have to call the method by using object.method name. If you want to go with the delegates, I don't want to create like that. I can create a function. I can create an object for a delegate. I can able to call the delegate. We can able to directly access the pointer, which is the function is located. That is one thing. Second thing is I want to have some callbacks. If I want to calling from the parent to child, there is always possibility from there is some relation from the child to parent also. In those cases, I will go with the delegates.
Okay. Okay, Ram. So, yeah. So what is the use of properties in C#? So programming.
Yes.
So we are using properties, right? So instead of a class, we are variables. So why we are going for properties?
You mean to say setter and getter properties?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It's basically if you want to transfer the data from one library to another library or multiple modules, we have to define some DTOs as well as some property. We will set the data in a particular one library or one module. If we want to transfer the data by using HTTP calls, by using the JSON or some serialization to transfer the data, and basically it is a data transfer object to setters and getters. To setters, which is used to setting the data for a particular field, and getters, which are used to getting the values. Sometimes we can also set the some default values, or while we are also getting, we can also do the some filterings in terms of applying the higher lower case and uppercase, and we can also do the some filterings. We can able to do that.
Okay, so we C# we are using LINQ queries, right? What is the difference between first and default?
Yeah, first will give both are give the first value only, but what I felt is the major difference. First will give an exception if the collection don't have the value.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go for a static class, can you give me some example where it is used predominantly?
Yeah, static class. I don't want to create an object for multiple times. Those static class which will have that the value is static for all the instances, I can say. In those cases, I don't want to create an object. I want to maintain the values all the in entire application level. We can go with the static one.
Okay, so in your project, have you used any static classes so for any purposes?
Yes, common utility is one of static class. What it will do is it will fetch the connection strings and app setting values from the web.config, and we can use that same static class in all the libraries. We don't want to create an object. It will we can able to directly access by using the static class method name, static class property name.
Oh, okay, fine then. So there are the three different patterns available: creational, structural, behavioral.
Okay.
So which one you are working using? So what reason? Any patterns you have chosen for implementing your solutions?
Yeah, creational design patterns I was aware, and structural design patterns I know it. Like few of the things I know it, but I did not get a chance to implement in my current project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know what is solid principle? Can you tell me how it is handled in your project?
Yeah, solid principles are very huge concept. We have used a few of the things. One is single responsibility. In the sense, the class has to be having the single responsible only. If you want to add that other responsibility to that current existing class, it should violate the single responsibility. Like let's say it's a vendor. In our application, we have vendor operation. We have each vendor will create. We will create a POs to that vendor for a particular vendor. In these cases, the vendor, before creating the PO, we have to validate the data. We have to send out an email notification. We have to create a PO. These are the three different functionality. What it will happen is, if the single responsibility, in this case, we will create a three different classes, and we will create each the class responsibility, and those will be satisfied by using the single responsibility principle. Second thing is open closed. Yes, open closed. Open for modification, open for extension, closed for modification. I have a class which is 1 minute. I have a class which is having well defined. It has been well tested, and regression testing is also done. What it is happening is, if you want to add that one of the new method to the existing class, in those cases, the open close principle is violating. If you want to add any of new functionality or new method of the same responsibility, we want to extend that existing class, because which is already well defined, well tested. If you want to disturb, it is going to be affecting of some other places. Those cases, what it is happening is, I can declare an abstract class, and what are the child classes will be able to extend it, and they will be able to implement their own logic if they want it. They will be override if they want it.
Okay.
That is for O. It's come to that I is interface segregation. This is one of most commonly used in the repository pattern. I can give only that method definition to the clients. I don't want to give the implementation. So in those cases, I will go with that interface segregation principle. Yeah, LISCO substitution. Yeah, that is also one of greatest principle. The parent can be able to. Each of the child will be able to easily substitutable by the parents. Yeah. Another one is dependency inversion. This is also one of the greatest principle. We have to, by using dependency inversion, we have to follow the dependency injection, and we don't want to bother about how the life cycle is maintaining. It has to be some request, like we have the different scopes. Based on the scopes, the third-party library will maintain that scope of a particular object in the dependency injection.
Okay. Okay, fine then. So you have worked on MVC application as well as web API development, correct?
Correct.
So MVC we have controller, and then web API we have API controller, right? So which is used. So what is the difference between controller and API controller?
Yeah, the basic difference I have seen is API, it will return only the JSON or only the some JSON or XML or whatever that format we have mentioned. But in the MVC controller, we can return a number of return types, whether it is a partial view, empty result, content result, JSON result, JSON net result.
Okay.
It is not possible to return a view from API controller, but we can able to do that vice versa in API in normal MVC controller.
Okay. So what is the software design principle you developed or followed recently?
Can you come again? What is exactly your question? Software design principles.
Design principles.
Design principles, maybe the word might be different, but I'm not aware of it. The design principles.
Oh, okay, fine, no problem. Yeah. So you have something which is written in API, right? So when you're consuming that API, the HTTP call, so how will you make an authentication or authorization of this request, and you will serve the response back to the client which is requested to this API?
Yeah, by using the jar token, we have to send a barrier as a jar token in the request header, and we will write one filter. Before accessing that method, the filter will execute and the filter will validate what is the request and what is the resources he is requested. Does he having access of the request and whether the token is valid or not. These are all the things we have to validate it. And in MVC we have a filter. In the web in .NET Core we have the middlewares. We'll write a custom middleware and we'll validate those requests and verify, and we'll give an access for a next piece of middleware.
Okay. Okay. So you have used ORM frameworks, right? So entity framework. So what is the role of DB context class?
DB context class is basically used to create a tables in a particular context. You mean to say DB set, right?
Yeah, DB context.
Yeah, DB context is that instance of a particular database. We can able to access that all the objects for inside that particular database. We can able to access by using the context class.
Okay. So what are the methods available in DB context class?
A DB context class. DB context class we have add, save changes.
Okay, fine. So I have developed my web page and I have some image in my home page.
Okay.
So in that home page I have that image. I deployed that production and QA, all the environments. It's working fine. So what happened is the image, the business want to change it. Basically that is a company logo. So they wanted to change the logo to different logo image. So they shared the new logo image. So what I did is I find that the physical path and replace that image with the same name. So now I'm seeing dev and QA and testing it. It is working fine. I move to production. When I move to production, my end users say telling not able to see the new logo. Some of my end users, so few of them it's working fine, but a few of the end users saying my logo is not. I'm not able to see the logo.
Okay.
So I'm still seeing the old logo. So the rising concept. So how do you approach this problem and how do you solve this?
Yeah, we have to if in the production if we have any changes, we have to intimate that DL, and if it is a if it is a normal like UI change or the server side change, everyone has to be clear the cache and they have to re-log in it and they have to verify it. Once that is that is one case, and still if we have that issue, we need to get that do we have the same environment or we have the different environment, like same region or different region the users is complaining?
So they're complaining in the same region?
Same application, same region. Okay. What I will do is I will try to get that we have to check whether the request of a particular first thing is a caching. Is it a caching problem or not? We have to clear it out whether it is a caching problem. We have to clear the cache, or if they have that some IAS cache or Redis cache if they are using. We have to be clear it based on the user ID and our user ID or the region ID wise. We have to clear it. Otherwise we have the second step is we have to clear the browser cache if required, based on how the coding was implemented. The third approach is I suggest is to get that logs for a particular user, whether the request is coming to this a particular controller action method or not, to fetch the data or to return the data or not. That is the other approach we can able to find it.
Okay, fine, sir. So the second option is right. So probably after clearing the browser caches and all, so it started working for that particular user. So but again, my end users are 10,000 plus end users. So I cannot go and tell everyone to clear the cache and all. Correct. So how can we solve it from IAS then?
IAS we can able to reset the IAS.
So you worked on IAS deployments again?
Yeah, in the previous.
App domains?
Yeah, in the previous I have been. I know that the IAS deployment as well by using. I have also tried with my own by using Jenkins and different CI/CDs. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so for example, if you are writing some code, right, in C# or whatever the language, how will you ensure the code quality?
Yeah, code quality, we have to follow the some set of standards. The like whether we are following the some correct standard or not, whether we are using the naming conventions, whether we are handling the proper exception handling, whether we are clearing that the caching in the clearing that memory, like destroying of an object, whether we can use that managed object or unmanaged object. The same thing if you want to go with the, if you are using the collection, how to clear the collection if you are not using, and the handling. Basically it's we have to follow the some set of standards as a as a developer wise. As part of the lead activities, we have to check with that code by using the sonar cube static code qualities, as well as static code, the sonar cube, as well as some other. We have different free tools and paid tools are available. We can able to find, we can able to judge that code quality.
Okay. Okay, fine then. So, what about the unit testing automation? So, have you worked on any unit testing automation?
Unfortunately, no, but I know the mock testing. But yeah, in the .NET Core application, we are trying to. First, we are main focus is converting an application from MVC.NET Core, and we have in the pipeline to validate it by using the mock and NUnit. But unfortunately, no, it is not happened.
Okay. So, so you worked on SQL Server as well, right? So backend.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So in my SQL Server, I'm writing some stored procedures. Which will be consumed from my application. For that stored procedure, so I'm seeing a lot of subqueries and cursors used in it. So what is your recommendation to replace those items? Is it good practice to use subqueries, cursors in the?
No, definitely it's not. The subqueries and cursors, if you are going with the single database for multiple customers, definitely it will be performance implication. I can say instead of going with the subqueries, we can go with the CTEs or temp tables, local temp tables. And if you are fetching the data into the temp table, we can apply some indexes on the temp table. From there itself, if you want to the temp table, if you want to join it, if you want to update, if you want to delete, we can able to perform it. And finally, we want to calculate the data, it has to be written it. I think it's better to avoid it, but it's, if it is having the more number of subqueries and more number of tables, definitely go with that. It is not a suitable approach. If it is one or two tables, that is fine, and if it is a more, it is better to go with the table where like CTEs and tables, CTEs as well as stored procedures. And the cursor, sometimes it's, yeah, it's okay to use, but it is not a preferred approach using the cursors. The cursor is also, if you want to use, we can use the read-only cursor. It will not affect the insertion of other operations, or it should not impact of other operations.
Okay, so then, so I think I've covered all the areas where I required my requirements. So final things like any challenges or any which is interesting area for you, and what is the challenges you faced in your career?
Yeah, challenges. Yeah. Yeah, as I'm working as a team lead during the pandemic situation, we that is one of the challenges. Like one of that everyone is working as a remote location. To meet the deadlines, it is having some problematic because of a few of the family members got affected, and we try to understand what would be the issue of that does not meet in the deadline. We want to showcase the same thing to the clients, and what we did is we have implement, the client has given another 2 more days extra time, and we was working hard towards odd hours and towards weekends, and we have completed successfully. But that is an unfortunate situation for everyone. the client, the employee was the family got affected. That is one case, and unplanned leaves. One of the team members is taking unplanned leaves without. This is also causing an the burden to the existing team members. Everyone is working on the Scrum. We have to deliver that each sprint on every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? In those cases, we are getting, but we have corrected it. We have discussed with all the employees, and we have corrected it. If they need any of unfortunately, that if it is a if basically we have to take it. If it is a planned leave, we have to explain that what is the task is performing of the current developers. We have taken one of the shadows and who is having the less experience, and we can able to complete that those tasks. These are the technical things wise as well as team wise. I have faced this issue. What other small things are there, like if the BRD is having some miscommunication between the SMEs or BAs, yeah,
Okay.
those things will be happen commonly in any of the organization.
Okay, got it. Okay, I think nice talking to you. Probably I have done with my interview.
Okay.
So for the DevOps practices, right? The Azure and all, they will be taking as a separate session.
Okay.
I pretty much wanted to cover the Microsoft technologies of .NET and all.
Okay.
So what is the source control you are using currently?
Visual Studio, Git, like Azure DevOps we are using.
Azure DevOps Git, Git, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you'll be doing code reviews?
Yes, I have 11 members are reporting to me, and I have to take care of the internal demos and code. If it is impacting of code, if we change that existing functionality, we have to check that impact of existing functionality too, and making that some standards has to be practiced. We have to, yeah, it's a individual contribution as well as the team lead. I have done. Yeah.
So you are also doing hands-on, right? So.
Yes, everyone has to be hands-on. Otherwise, it will be very difficult in nowadays.
Okay, I think nice talking to you, Ramu. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
If you don't have any questions, you can wind up the call.
I want to know what are the tech stacks of a current project you are looking. Do we have microservices or only the .NET Core?
Microservices, the BPA, and then the ASP.NET, UAC. There are multiple things. I don't know which project they are trying to manage, but on one of the project which is mentioned, the subject is belongs to Azure DevOps and then Azure functions. Okay. Service business they're using, but that is pretty much they're developing .NET Core BPAs for the technology stack.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Salwan. Bye.